everyone, and welcome back to more Mystic Destinies Echoes. We are back for more CILLIAN'S round. Yay! In the last episode, we just got started on our second run through of this game, our second round, our second dude, which is CILLIAN. Because it all came back to how I didn't realize that there was like a little start thing when you start the game, and there's like common routes, and then there's like a deep story route. So Cillian was part of the more common route, which is like, I guess you would probably have to play it in that certain order to so you don't get too much of a spoiler sort of stuff once you get more deeper into like the story, the main story of the game. So yeah, so that's what we ended up doing. We ended up going through the motions, through the story once, from the beginning, not really from the beginning, but like from the start, where we, came to the mansion, and then we formed Team Dawn, Team, which is with all the rest of the guys, because again, Jinsel had told us like it's either we get charged for these past crimes that we've done, or we help him with this case of like finding out more about the cult of Mir and about the god of Mir, and preventing the end of the world essentially. So yeah, we decided to go with that route. And we also decided to lean towards getting interactions with Cillian more. So we some of that includes like our little like cute runs to the convenience store just down like the road. That seems to be our thing. Like every single time we go to get snacks, we talk a little bit more. We get to know about Cillian a little bit more, and maybe really connect with him. But otherwise, yeah, we everything kind of went down the same way. We got ambushed on our way to the police station. We took Cillian this time instead of Naoki. He helped us out. We subdued the cult that attacked us at the police station. And now, of course, we all found out about the library in Avalon that may have like more accurate books to translate the prophecy that we got from Mai. And now we're on our way here. We're not necessarily there yet, but we are gearing up to go there. So that's the way we are. I feel like it might be the same sort of things that are happening. Like Cillian takes us to the entrance of Avalon, but then once we walk through it, it's like we end up somewhere completely different, not like directly at where the Spring Palace is, and then we get ambushed again, and then everything, like we broke out into a fight between the cultists, almost got kidnapped, and then oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god, I am blanking out on the name, but we get rescued by one of the main guys of the main story. He is the prince of Avalon, and that's when and then after we get rescued, that's when we actually make it to the Spring Castle to meet the royal family and such. Shinji, that's his name. Shinji. Oh my god, it took me a while. Anyways, I'm gonna just double check here just to make sure that skip red text. Okay, cool. So that way I don't accidentally skip over stuff that we need to read. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna skip on ahead unless the game tells me otherwise, where if it stops me at new dialogue, that's where we'll pick up. But yeah, essentially that's where we are now. Okay, we got caught up, so let's get right to it. Okay, so the game stops me here, in which this is at the aftermath, which we passed out from getting banged up a little bit, and we wake up in this like little, I guess, the guest room. Yeah, it's a guest room in the palace. So I dreamily smile, thinking how glad I am that more than anyone, Cillian's okay. Yes, yeah, okay, yeah. So in the midst of us getting carried off, because the guys were preoccupied with fending off the suddenly magical cultists. Like apparently, no, that didn't happen yet. No. That necessarily didn't happen yet. I guess we were facing off with some pretty powerful cultists, because they were getting held up and we were getting our asses handed to, and then that's how one of them got the slip on us, try to carry us away. And we were like, no, and then because all the guys are struggling, and we're fearing for their lives while we're getting carried away. But no, it's okay. And because we chose Cillian, we're like, hey, we're really glad he's fine. His aqua-colored eyes peer into mine as if they could see my soul. Okay, so he's here. He is here. Wait. Aqua? No, wait, no. Aqua. This is... no. Yeah. Say what? Yes, this is when instead of finding Cillian or any of our love interests kind of watching us over when we're like asleep or passed out, it was actually Hikaru that we meet for the first time. For the first time because he's like a really good healer. He was called to like basically be the doctor here. Okay, so we're gonna skip on over that. There we go. So Hikaru leaves and he's like, okay, good to see that you're awake. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna bring in your boyfriend. And then we're like, our boyfriend, who the hell's our boyfriend? And this be boo. At that moment, Cillian walks in. The boyfriend comment makes more sense, but is even more embarrassing now. I wonder if he said he was my boyfriend. No way. I'm sure that guy was just assuming. Cillian's eyes widen when he sees me, and he rushes to the side of the bed. Hello. It almost seems as if he's going to hug me, but thinks better of it. Instead, he pulls a chair to the side of the bed and hesitantly takes my hand. I stare down at our hands, the unexpected gesture making my heart soften. Man, he must have been worried. Well, yeah, because the last time we were off nearly getting kidnapped, and that was very worrying. I look up into his eyes. Okay. Lady Aurelia. Okay, I'm so grateful that you are alright. Thank you, yes. I failed again as a knight. No! He's crying! I was so worried! No, don't cry. Everyone loves you! Whoa, is he crying? Yeah, I'm not used to anyone being worried about me, honestly, so all I can think to do is apologize. I'm glad you're alright too. Yeah, I'm so sorry for making you worry. Cillian wipes his tears. The fault is with me alone, my lady. I am the one who brought us into that trap. No, Cillian, no one could have predicted that ambush, right? And it's not your fault. Sylph biology is breakable at best. I'm very fragile. I try some humor to lighten Cillian's mood, but he looks like he just wants to cry again. Oh no! Your race has it so very hard. Would that I could protect you from all harm. I find myself once again looking away, blushing at Cillian's genuine concern. He's alternating between flogging himself and stressing out over me. We seriously need a topic change. So can you please explain what's been going on? To start with, who was that mage? Oh yes, and who was that guy with the brown hair? Yes, you mean King Aegon. Yes, well, King. Well, not really. He doesn't like to be referred to King Aegon. He's just Shinji. Cillian explains that mage is actually one of the two kings of Avalon. Wow. His name is King Aegon, though he apparently insists upon being called Shinji. Yes. And the brown-haired supermodel is a demigod named Hikaru, the king brought in to heal me. He's a brown-haired demigod supermodel, yes. He apparently works at Hagiwara as Naoki's co-worker as well. A barista king and a professor demigod rescued me, go figure. My luck seems to be chaotic these days, so why not? At this point, all I could do is bob my head along in acceptance of the wild information. Cillian also explains that normally that hidden path does lead to the Spring Castle, but Shinji suspects the cult must have somehow manipulated it into leading to a different area. Yes, how the hell did they manage to do that, and how did they even know we were coming? Then Cillian drops an even bigger bomb. What? The king believes that the cultists may be using chaos magic. Oh yeah, they suddenly gained chaos magic. Chaos. But no one can control that. Indeed, it is a frightening yet perplexing prospect. Oh, a knock, hello! A knock on the door comes in, interrupting us. That actually scared me still. That still scared me. Cillian looks at me, questioning, and I nod. He gets up to let whoever it is in. Is it Shinji? Yeah, Shinji. I'm surprised when I see it's the Mage King from before. Cillian scrambles to bow, but Shinji practically forces him to stand upright. Cillian settles for pressing his fist to his chest and standing quietly against the wall. Hey, how are you feeling? Well, pretty good, honestly. Your demigod does good work. I feel like I've won a lottery in life or something lately to have a beautiful demigod heal me. Okay, so can we skip on over this? I mean, I think Cillian does join us. Yeah, and then of course Shinji gets like mildly possessed at some point. Okay, so Aurelia is after Shinji told her how the cultists are slaughtering her kind because she's involved. Basically, it's almost like a ploy to like lure her out in a way. So she's saying maybe I should really give myself up. And CILLIAN's like, my lady, no, no. What will that solve? That'll just justify their terrorism. And there's no telling what Mir would do. We need to approach this a different and then he gets possessed. Yes, okay. Can we skip out on this possession? Are we good? Are we good? I swear to God, all the parties are involved. Like, it's pretty much gonna go down the same way. So, I guess it's a little bit different because we got some new dialogue with CILLIAN because he's here. So he stays like this for several heartbeats before tears begin to stream down his face. So he's, my king, are you in pain? Yes or no? Could it be? What? Alarmed and having absolutely no clue what's happening, I look at CILLIAN. If you know what it is, can't you do something? A sword won't solve this if I am right. Yeah. CILLIAN looks between me and the door torn. Then, don't worry about me. Go find someone who can help. Okay. I will return as quickly as possible. Okay, CILLIAN dashes out of the room, the door swinging behind him. Now left alone with Shinji, I can only watch as he struggles. Okay. Skipping. Skipped a whole ton of events that happened like afterwards. So so it happened the same way, which we rescued Shinji from being possessed, because Hikaru figured out a trick with using his light magic against his chaos magic to basically expel him from Shinji's body or mind momentarily. Or I think, yeah, just like, yeah, basically, as an exorcism. We go visit the library, we find the text, we also recovered an artifact from one of the cultists that we were trying to find information out of, but it turns out it was just like a medium that Mir could use to possess people, whoever's in possession of it. And he takes over Shinji's mom. We have a big battle in which CILLIAN, of course, has that conflict in which he didn't want to harm the royal family, but it's one of the members of the royal family that's attacking them, and like if he doesn't do something, then like they're all gonna die. So he managed to overcome that. We beat Mir out of Shinji's mom, and we destroyed the artifact so that he couldn't possess anyone else. And then Katsunosuke tried to do the dragon thing, the summon a dragon, an actual guardian of the gods, to help us, but of course we got Aquarius, and he's just like, nah man, I don't do that shit anymore. I'm retired, basically. So that didn't help, but regardless, we all decided to go to Atlantis at like the very next day, I think. And we have Haruka. No, is her name Haruka? I have no idea. It's the girl, the main girl from the game. I forgot her name. Her name is slipping my mind right now. But yeah, the main girl from the main game. She's tagging along because she's like, she has part chaos magic. So she's like, I feel like I can help in some way. So we all like we got a vessel. We got a ship set up. We were about to board and off we go. But then of course the lady, she was part of the cult. Like she was one of the head leaders, I think. And she was gonna stow away with a bunch of other people other cultist members on board, but then we beat her. Hikaru did the whole like magic flash thing. He used flash, and it was super effective. And so Jinsol and like the rest of the police force arrested them, and so afterwards, when they're cleared off the ship, we are sailing off to Atlantis, to the city of Atlantis, and we are here now on this scene where we had it before with Naoki, but of course this time, character's gonna change. It's probably gonna be CILLIAN, and we're gonna get cute little dialogue here, see what's gonna happen here. So when I see a figure already leaning over the railing. So it's kind of like, I think the night before we are set to arrive in Atlantis, and of course Aurelia couldn't sleep. So she's taking a walk over on the deck, on the board deck, and then we come across, CILLIAN! Yes, none other than CILLIAN. His white hair seems to glow in the moonlight. Something inside me tugs at me, drawing me to CILLIAN. As I float over to him, I can only think of one thing. I want to be near him. Aw, hello. Sensing me, he turns and our eyes meet. His pale blue eyes seem to sparkle amidst the backdrop of the night sky. You're very pretty. He's such a beautiful man. Yes! My thoughts exactly. Such a beautiful man. All thoughts fly out of my head, and it's without hesitation I come to stand near him. Did you come to feel the breeze too? Yes. It has been quite a while since I have been on a voyage. Then I wish even more that it wasn't to somewhere terrible. Yeah, I have been thinking lately. That might be nice. Aw. What, going somewhere not terrible? Cillian chuckles softly. More than not terrible. I have been thinking it might be enjoyable to go somewhere nice. Just plain nice. Just for fun, as humans would say. Like a little vacation. Yes, you do deserve a vacation. Everyone deserves a vacation after this. In all my years, I have never done such a thing before. Oh. I never thought I'd hear such words coming out of Cillian's mouth, but I'm glad. It's been a long time since I took a trip for fun myself. Then, shall we go together? Aw, look at him blush! That's so cute! Oh, you wanna go with me? Yeah. Oh, if that is something that you would like. I mean, I'd love that. You just gave me something to look forward to. Well, if we survive this mess anyway. Thank you. Ah, Cillian looks at me for a heartbeat, then kneels and grabs my hand. Oh, what is this? Is this a proposal already? His blue eyes shine with intensity as he says his next words. Lady Aurelia, please do not be afraid. Not of today, nor tomorrow. Never be afraid, for I shall protect you with all that I am. Oh my god, Cillian. Wow. It's not necessary to go that far for me just because you're a knight. I reluctantly pull my hand away. I don't want anyone killing themselves for me just because of some oath they took. I understand that you're going to Atlantis right now because of the threat Mir poses to Avalon and to the world. But you don't need to do anything extra for me. This has gone way beyond being attacked by some cultists. You've more than fulfilled your duty as a knight and your oath to help me. Lady Aurelia. Cillian's voice sounds pained as he trails off. He's like, I mean more than that. He opens and closes his mouth a few times, seeming distressed. It's as if he wants to say something but can't find the right words. Finally he speaks. My reason is something other than the oath I took to help the people of Avalon. It is something even more than the oath that I took to protect you from the cult. For once in my life, there is no room for words like obligation or duty in this feeling. Is he saying? It can't be. It is. I'm not sure how to feel suddenly. It's like I'm standing at the edge of an abyss, scared to fall, but breathless with anticipation of the weightless flying. Cillian turns away from me. I do not know how to describe the origins of this feeling, only that I want to protect you. Because I want to. Cillian looks at me now, eyes pleading. Please, allow me to do one of the few things I know how to do for you. Cillian, I don't really deserve that. I wonder if I wouldn't have run by now if Jinsel wasn't holding prison over my head, like Pax did. I'm not really a good person, and I'm definitely no queen. Oh no. Heck, Cillian murmurs to himself, oh no, he's had bad experiences with that word. Could it be? What? If your concern is about that, then know this. Queen Sorcha was not worthy of being served and protected. I have realized that Sorcha was a self-serving, evil woman, undeserving of the position of High Queen. Stepping closer to me, Cillian stares into my eyes. It was observing you that helped me come to terms with that. I have seen your integrity with my own eyes. You have fought as valiantly as you could in every instance, in every situation. Despite your vulnerability, you have continued forward to try and resolve your problems. It is not only for yourself, but for others who are affected that you are concerned. You have sought to fix your past mistakes by facing them now. You fought to free Queen Mickey from Mir, even before I was able to clear my own mind. And despite your anxieties, I have never once heard you mention running away. Besides that, Cillian reaches up to touch his eye patch. I am a fool who has made many mistakes. Yet you do not pry nor seek to judge me. You simply accept me as I am. I would like to do the same for you. Whatever you have done or mistakes that you believe that you have made, they do not change my desire to protect you. The only reason being because I want to. Wow, that is a very impassioned speech. I am very touched. Okay, as much as I'd like to speak, to say something to all of that, I'm overcome with emotion. Yes, I'm confused as to why, no, how he could feel like this. How someone as amazing as Cillian could feel this way. About me. Cillian takes advantage of my inability to respond, much less deny anything, and speaks again. Girl, you need to give yourself more credit. Can I protect you in the way that I desire to? Just because it is my desire to do so? Worn down and rendered completely vulnerable by Cillian's words, I can't find any part of myself that wants to say no. I can only nod. Thank you, my lady. I cannot ask you to not feel fear, but please know that I will be by your side the entire time. Same to you. My strong feelings cause my voice to start working, albeit quietly. Maybe I can't protect you in the same exact way, but I will do my damnedest to help in whatever way I can. And I'll always be there to heal your wounds. All of them, whether it's from battle or your past. I'll never run or stop trying as long as this man is by my side. That would make me happy. Oh, well, this is so sweet. We quietly watch the moonlight reflect off the waves for a little longer. Then we go back inside to rest. That night, I can't help but dream of Cillian. I can't remember any of it, but I know it's happy. Oh, that's very sweet. Okay, so we're gonna go into the temple, and I feel like it's gonna play out the same way again, except this time it's gonna be something involving with Cillian, and we're gonna get transported off somewhere to with Cillian as well. Here we go. There. This is what I thought it would happen. Lady Aurelia. Oof. Okay. What? I don't feel pain, but I hear someone else's. Yeah. So we find Mirror. We found some spirits. We found some spirits of the past. We released them from their like their bounds because they were like little zombie looking creatures, and then it turns out it was the priestess that one of them was the priestess that sealed away Mirror in the first place, and she's like, please tell the truth about what happened here. We get to the throne room, we find Mirror's body just like chained down and everything, and then we're hearing his like thoughts spill out into our minds about how he's been betrayed by his people and stuff like that, and his long lost love. And then he went completely crazy because the sealing thing didn't work, and now we're fighting for our lives here, and we're about to get like punctured. We're about to get stabbed through with like a tentacle or some shit, and then of course Cillian jumps in and saves us. I open my eyes to see Cillian in front of me. Yeah. With a tendril piercing his armor, going through his chest. Yeah, Cillian. The tendril vanishes when Hikaru blasts it with an orb of light. Uh-oh. Cillian collapses and I do my damage to catch him, but the moment my hands touch him, we're torn away from each other. Yes. No. Okay, the tendrils ignore all of our attacks and instead settle for wrapping around each of us, lifting us in the air again. Okay, so everything looks really bad, and then we get rescued. So I desperately struggle against the writhing, disgusting feeling of the chaos on my body and try to look for Cillian, but I can't see him. Please be okay. Yes, I am overjoyed that I had an audience for my release. Okay, we get it, Mirror. You're very, very lonely and very salty. More than I'm worried about myself, though, I'm worried about Cillian. Yes, the thought of him dying as I dangle here, only a short distance away from me, is killing me. Yes. Yeah, I think you forgot about me. So there comes Hikaru. He goes into full demigod mode, and then yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we get rescued the same way we did in Naoki's route after Hikaru was about to sacrifice himself, and then I forgot Tokyo. I think it's Tokyo. Tokyo was the one who's like, I don't know, fam. We're not gonna have anyone dying here. So he sent people all across the country, essentially, because last time we ended up in Italy of all places with Naoki, but we were able to see like his little occult club because they were stationed in Italy. So there's that. But now where are we with Cillian? We look like it's very nice. I mean, it looks like we're still in the city somewhere. We're just like a little farther away. When the light fades, I realize that we're no longer in Atlantis. Yeah. Everything feels completely unreal, and I feel like I'm leaving my own body as I try to process this. What happened? Asking that question promptly brings one of the weirdest experiences of my life. Hey there! I'm Tokyo! What? A disembodied voice resounds in my head. I'm talking to all your friends that were in Atlantis with you right now. We're in a voice chat? It's like one of those live streams, right? We're in a Zoom call? Yeah, we're in a Zoom call. I'm a god that decided to look out for you guys. Tokyo, oh god, what the fuck. I didn't want to see you guys come to any harm. Thanks, I really appreciate that. I scouted you guys from place to place when I was trying to hurry up and prevent any deaths. Hikaru's with me, and I need to help him out a bit right now. Okay, our savior, yes, cause he's kind of dying and stuff. Yeah, I'd put you guys at home, but I think you could use the break. I wish you guys the best of luck. Soak up the experience, get to know each other better, then go back home and kick some ass. Yeah, it's a little break. You know, smell the roses. Enjoy the journey back home. Thanks. Tokyo's voice fades out from my mind. It's like a forced vacation. I don't have time to think about what just happened before I spot CILLIAN lying a bit away from me. Yes, bleeding and unconscious. Oh god, CILLIAN! CILLIAN! I scramble over on my knees to reach him. My heart breaking and on the verge of tears, I check for a heartbeat. It's faint but there. Relief washes over me as I waste no time in healing him. I don't bother to manage my energy or conserve any. I give him everything his body needs to live. As I feel my own energy draining out of me, I realize that he's not waking up. I'm not much for praying, but if any gods are listening, hey Tokyo, if you're listening, please let CILLIAN wake up. Okay, I keep trying until my own consciousness fades to black. Yeah, we take a nice nap together, out in this lovely field of wildflowers. When I wake up, the vast evening sky stretches up before my eyes. I realize that I'm laying on something hard and shift my gaze to the right. Aw, you're awake! CILLIAN's face comes into view and I realize that I'm lying on his lap. Ah! I immediately stood up, thinking to get off of him. But I'm so glad to see him that I end up throwing my arms around his neck. He slowly wraps his arms around me as well. Although I can feel his awkward hesitance at this moment, I'm just so happy that I barely notice. I squeeze myself close to his hard body, realizing just how much CILLIAN has come to mean to me. Wait, what the hell am I doing? Well, I'm sitting in CILLIAN's lap, hugging him. Well, he nearly died. I feel like he would deserve some kind of affection. It should have been obvious, but my emotions were so strong that I didn't really think. I pull back from CILLIAN reluctantly and sit primly back on the grass. I can't meet his gaze, so I look around and try to start up some small talk instead. I decide to explain what we're even doing here, and CILLIAN seems to accept it at face value. I guess with all the weirdness we've gone through, it makes as much sense as anything else. I sighed, looking at the fading sun. It's already evening. I hope it's still the same day. At this point, I have no sense of time or location whatsoever. Yeah, me neither. I have no idea where we are. CILLIAN stands up, looking around at the scenery. It is the same for me. Atlantis feels like a void where time stood still, or perhaps did not exist at all. I guess that's chaos for you. I have no idea why the Alpha worship it. I have not the faintest idea myself. We chuckle quietly, looking at each other before I get shy again. Oh, cults. I turn to look at our surroundings. The sunset's especially stunning from the darkness of Atlantis. I think it's even more beautiful just because we're alive. I agree. The wind tousles my hair, bringing a sense of peace with it. Except, sitting in this pretty place with CILLIAN, I suddenly find myself wishing that I had different clothes. That I had some of the robes that I used to wear in my homeland. There is no gender in the land of Sills, so they weren't precisely feminine. But they're far more beautiful than my usual outfit, which is best suited to Yoru. However, you are much prettier. Ow! Huh? In the sunset. The glow on your hair and skin, I mean. Oh. I turn away, pushing the hair the wind blew out of my face. Here I am, wanting to look beautiful for CILLIAN to match this view, and he says I'm even prettier than it. Man, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. The realization of the fact that I even want to look beautiful for CILLIAN hits me. I finally have to wonder if I truly deserve a man as wonderful as CILLIAN. And what is it that we're becoming? With the future ahead of us so uncertain, I'm not sure if this is the best time to figure it out. I realize that CILLIAN has crouched down amongst the flowers beside me, muttering to himself. If only I'd pay better attention to things like this. I didn't think I would need the knowledge. Oh, are you gonna make me a flower crown? I should ask King Aegon for help in improving when I see him next. It's a flower crown, isn't it? I tilt my head, wondering what he's doing. Seeing the evening aura upon CILLIAN's hair and skin as he's surrounded by flowers. I think I understand what he meant by something prettier than the view around us. CILLIAN? CILLIAN startles as if he forgot I was there. He stands up quickly, a wreath of flowers in his gloved hands. Looking incredibly uncertain, he holds it out to me without meeting my eyes. I gingerly take it, handling it as if it was the most precious crown in the world, meant for an empress. Thank you. But what is this for? I just thought it matched well with you. Ah! Is this the flower or this is for the flower? I am the flower. And I would like to say thank you. I have survived many, many battles, but never before have I felt this happy afterward. I am certain that is because I am by your side. I am eternally grateful, my lady. Oh, I can say the same thing to you, CILLIAN. CILLIAN presses his fist to his chest, bowing his head quickly. His hair falls in front of his face, hiding his red cheeks. So pretty and cute. I know, he's adorable! My heart is filled with so much warmth and joy that I find I can't stop smiling. CILLIAN finally looks up, this time away from me. Instead, he gestures to the town in the distance. We should begin traveling to that town below before night falls. I would like to get you somewhere safe as soon as possible. I mean, if that is fine by you, Lady Aurelia. He's so worried about protecting me. He never stops for even a moment. I want to show him how grateful I am too. That I'll follow wherever he goes. I look down at the flower crown CILLIAN made for me. Ah, we actually wear it! Yeah, that's so cute. And I slowly, reverently place it atop my hair. I said I'd stick by your side, CILLIAN. So yeah, I'll go wherever you want. This seems to set off another fit of blushing again. CILLIAN seems to struggle with himself as he looks at me, to the ground, off in the distance, and back again. Finally, he gracefully gestures for me to walk ahead of him. My lady. My lady! Sorry, I can't help it. Still smiling, I nod to CILLIAN and walk ahead. But soon enough, he's by my side, like always. Together, we head toward the little town in the distance. But where are we? Are we even in the same country? Getting to the town doesn't take very long. It seems like any other ordinary town. Oh, man. But for the amount of people in cultist hoodies... Yeah, why are there so many? The moment CILLIAN sees one, he pulls me aside into an alley. Yeah, we gotta sneak around. His eyes narrow, looking out onto the street. Sensing his tension, I take out my saw bag and gently remove the flower crown. I place it into the bag and look back up at CILLIAN. I didn't want any harm to come to it, if we have to fight. CILLIAN looks back at me and nods, the faintest hue of a blush on his cheeks. We should leave immediately, yeah. I'd like to, but it's already dark. And who knows if other towns might have the same situation. If there's even any others near. CILLIAN sighs and nods once again. You are right, my lady. We've got to at least try to find some place to sleep. Not everywhere could have been infiltrated by these cultists that fast. I cannot fault your logic, but if anyone tries to harm you, I will not hesitate. Yeah, don't worry, I know. I'd really like to avoid making any trouble, though. Although neither of us have said anything, I know that we both need rest after all the healing today, yeah. It'd be good if we could both disguise ourselves, but I only have one basic glamour spell in my bag. Oh, without saying a word, CILLIAN changes into his inconspicuous clothes. He then looks up at me, determined. Forgive me, Lady Aurelia, but I think it best if you stay close by my side. Oh, I mean no disrespect, but you are quite small, so I believe that I can hide you. Yeah, good idea. Okay, it's worth a try. I shyly step closer to CILLIAN, and blushing, he hesitantly puts an arm around me. I didn't know he meant this close, but it makes sense. Us walking casually as a couple looks a lot less awkward than me sticking to him. With that decided, we begin to walk through the town. The town itself is eerily quiet, and for the most part, all we see is cultists. Is this like the cultist capital? What is happening here? Maybe the townspeople all shut themselves up inside. At first, I feel like my face won't ever stop burning as I half hide under CILLIAN's arm. The feeling of his well-muscled back against my hand means that my heart won't stop pounding. But gradually, I start to feel comfortable. With CILLIAN's arm firmly around my shoulder, it just feels natural, yes. When I sneak a peek up at his face in the moonlight, I can't help but be stunned again by his beauty. His strong nose, his pale blue eyes, and silvery hair, his faint red cheeks. As much as he's blushing, he's also glaring into the night, watching for anything that might threaten us. Smiling to myself, I find myself melting into his embrace and snuggle closer to him. He must smell very nice, too. I feel his body momentarily stiffen as he looks down at me. But then, as his eyes meet mine, his whole body relaxes and a small smile comes to his face. Somehow, it's at this moment that I know that I'll always love this man more than anyone else. I'm glad you accepted that. We managed to find an inn without any trouble, no doubt due to our attempts to avoid detection. However, the inn itself is a different situation. What? They'll be able to see our faces clearly there. Cillian and I both agree that there's nothing for it but to go in. If there's going to be a problem, it's best we find out before we check in. With that decided, we walk into the inn. Hello, are we friendly? When we walk in, thankfully there isn't a single person in a cultist hoodie in sight. That doesn't mean they aren't here, though. Please, Madam Innkeeper, we would like to stay the night if you have space. Hello? Innkeeper. Oh, of course. I recognize you. You're a familiar face. I look up at the nervous woman behind the counter. She's undoubtedly a human, so I'm sure the sight of both of us is quite interesting. Quite surprising, I should say. Cillian doesn't seem to notice her discomfort, and I can't think of how to make things less awkward. Well, neither of us ever really travel outside of Chowa or the other realms, so it's not like we're used to dealing with humans. We have a suite, if you're interested. There's even a private hot spring inside the room itself. A hot spring, girl! This is bougie! Yes. Oh shit, I forgot. We need 2 rooms, and she thinks, oh yes, sweet. Cillian's brain seems to need time to process what she said. After 5 awkward seconds pass, I wonder if he even understands what she did say. No. Cillian suddenly bursts out of his daze, practically shouting. He continues again, much quieter this time. Ahem, I apologize. I only meant to clarify that we will need separate rooms. Next to each other, if possible. And she's like, I see. We have plenty of empty rooms tonight, so that shouldn't be a problem. Alright. Dang it, but I want the hot spring! As Cillian finishes the check-in process, I can't help but feel slightly rejected. I mean, it's not like I expected anything happening. But he didn't have to say no so hard. He didn't have to say no like that. I tried telling myself that I'm being oversensitive. I know probably better than anyone at this point that Cillian is just probably trying to protect whatever virtue he thinks I have. But somehow it doesn't stop it from hurting. What is this? I'm being so stupid all of a sudden. Sighing, I pull out my phone to distract myself. Luckily, we have some signal here since this place doesn't seem to have Wi-Fi. What kind of inn doesn't have a Wi-Fi? What? I checked the group chat, back reading the chaos that apparently ensued after Atlantis. Everyone seems to have been spread out all over not only Japan, but the world, yes. Luckily, most of the guys were simply able to fly back. And Mirror, well, Jinsel has intel suggesting that he's behind a string of churches and shrines that have been recently destroyed. Wow. Hundreds have been killed already by Mirror himself. Damn, okay. But there's nothing we can do about it. I check out our own location on my GPS. I find that while we're still in Japan, we're extremely far from Tokyo, and therefore Chowa. Oh. It'd be best just to get back home before shit hits the fan any more than it has. But the portal stone I have on me doesn't work for distances this far. Although, since there's no airport around here, it looks like it'll take us at least a day to travel back by train. I quickly type that information into the chat. Just as I lock up my phone, I turn around to Cillian standing before me. He's pointing at the lobby desk he's pointing at the lobby desk like a child who needs his mother's help. What? What is it? I don't have human money. Oh, do you? Oh. In a panic, I realize that I need to make a few transfers to the card I have and quickly do so. You got an ATM? Yes, cool. With check-in finally settled, I fill in Cillian on what I learned on the way to our rooms. The news doesn't improve either of our moods, and I notice Cillian has his hand ball into a fist. When we reach our doors, we stop outside, looking at each other awkwardly. After all we've been through, being together as much as we have, I don't want to leave him. I don't want to be alone. But it's not like I can just say that. Peering up into Cillian's sad eyes, I wonder if he feels the same. But he's not saying anything. Unable to stand the silence, I pull it together and speak first. Well, I will. Good night. I hope you sleep well. Take care of that wound. I force myself to turn away, grabbing the door to slide it open. Lady Aurelia, I stop at the sound of Cillian's voice, my aching heart springing to life with hope. I am sorry that I cannot be by your side when we are in such a dangerous place. My heart falters a bit. I didn't want this kind of apology. No, what I want him to say is, I will not be able to be in your room. Why? But if you need me, just call for me, and I will be there to protect you. If not for the wound I sustained earlier, I would not even sleep. but I confess my exhaustion is getting the better of me. Even my stubbornness may not be able to fight sleep tonight. Looking closer at him, I see CILLIAN's pale face and dark-rimmed eyes. Heaviness wore on his delicate features, and my heart aches. I yearn to be there for him, to cradle his head in my arms, and look after him while he sleeps. But after what happened earlier, I don't think I can take the pain of being flat out rejected. His words have come to mean so much to me. Struggling with my desire to be with him and my fear of being rejected by him, I managed to squeeze some words out. I mean, it's not a full rejection. Not really. It's fine, CILLIAN. I know you're doing your best. But, you could just stay. My words with me faded out into a murmur, and CILLIAN turns bright red. My lady! He's like, emphasis, bolded. It would be most improper of me as a knight. Yeah, I cannot besmirch your virtue, your chastity, your trust. See, Aurelia, it's not a full-out rejection because he just means well. He's a very chivalrous guy. He's like, oh, I gotta respect her and her boundaries. Like, we gotta give her space. We don't want to impose on her. Like, he's just thinking of you. It's not rejecting you. I cannot enter a lady's room. CILLIAN seems like he's entering full panic mode. Though my feelings are hurt, I care more about his right now. Smiling softly, I take his hand in mine and flutter up just enough to put my finger on his lips. He falls silent in shock. It's alright. Sorry I asked. Good night, CILLIAN. Without waiting for a response, I flutter back down and practically run into my room. Okay. When I get in, I turn off the lights and don't stop moving until I'm under the covers. Overcome with emotion, I surprise myself by letting out a small sob. No! Before I can do anything else, tears are flowing down my face. I don't get what's come over me. I'm acting like an idiot. But all I know is that everything hurts right now. It's the love I feel for CILLIAN that's hurting me now. The desire to be close to him. The desire to be the one he wants. The desire to be together with him. Everything else be damned. And the reality that life isn't that simple. It hurts. It hurt, and so I cried. But somehow, within that pain, I also felt a joy unlike I had ever known. Unlike any I have ever known. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna check for time. I kind of want to bulldoze over this right through to the end because, again, it's like I feel like I have to do a lot of cutting. So I'm gonna see. Actually, no. Okay, I feel like this section in particular is gonna be a pretty long one. I think we just kind of did, what's it called? We just kind of did that section where we got that conflict with Naoki, where after we had teleported, we had eavesdropped on him in that shady conversation he was having, and that was like the start of our doubts for our doubts for his intentions, like, oh, is like, how much is he hiding, blah 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 kind of thing, and we ran off that way. That was like that cliffhanger to that last chapter, I feel like. And then we had this whole section of just like, we got into trouble, he rescues us, we had our moment of reconciliation, we sorted everything out, we cleared up the air, and then we had our little cute, little sexy time moment with Naoki, and then we started heading back, and then that's when we get that choice between that one simple, like, singular choice where it's either gonna go to a chaos ending or to a divine ending, so good or bad ending. So I feel like that enough is gonna be a sufficient episode, and then depending, I will see if I can just smush in the CILLIAN'S bad ending as well, and not have it be a separate thing on its own. But like, yeah, I feel like this is a good place to leave off. Okay, I feel like we got a lot, considering the big chunk of it is like the main meat of the story of the different routes, the differing routes is right here. So okay, we're gonna stop here. Thank you guys so much once again for your patience and for all your love and support for my Let's Plays and for this Let's Play. I really enjoy it. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I only mean to say this because I am still on a partial hiatus. I don't know, again, whether my schedule of uploading is going to be, stable enough to say that I am back fully, because again, I don't know when I'll have opportunities to get some recording done and therefore to upload them for you guys. So even if you ask me or shoot me a message, I won't asking about like when the next time I'm gonna upload certain Let's Plays. I can't really answer you because I don't know myself. I'm trying my best. Anyways, yeah, so regardless of that though, I am still fairly active on my channel though, like in terms of if you guys want to send me a message, comment on my videos, I will of course see them and I will answer them back. I will get back to them and answer replies as best of my abilities. And yeah, that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it. So in the next episode, we're going to conclude CILLIAN'S route and perhaps also get onto his bad ending, and that can be another route done. Oh my god, guys, it's good, moving along so quickly, after we did the initial the initial routes, like just the first route. It's just everything is going by so fast. Anyways, yeah, so tune in next time. I hope you look forward to it. But for now, bye.